Yes. Uh-huh. Just going through this ecclesiastical canon of law. Yes. Delicts against human life and freedom. Yeah. Canon 1397. A person who commits a homicide or who kidnaps, detains, mutilates, or gravely wounds a person by force or fraud, yes, is to be punished with the privations and prohibitions mentioned in Canon 1336 according to the gravity of the delict. Yeah. Homicide against person mentioned in Canon 1370, however, is to be punished by the penalties established here. Hmm. Now, this talks about abortions in Canon 1398. Yes. Now, we seem to be having some issue because my sons were kidnapped. Yes. And when I informed the state of Washington of their laws, yeah, they say we just can't enforce them. Now, obviously, I didn't get any notice of court hearings during the dissolution of marriage. Yeah. And I was told that once the diversion was over, yes, my record would be expunged and the protection order would have been removed, and then I could reestablish in 2012 my relationship with my sons. Now, you have to understand when I moved here was January 7th. Yes. And I stayed at my grandmother's for 3 months, and then I moved to Clallam County in probably March of 2012. I lived at 1023 Kitchen Dick Road. Yes. Well, that would have only meant April, May, June, and then July. Yes. I could have embraced my sons at that time, but you issued a protection order by minute order. Oh. Even when I had been found not guilty, you continued to enforce it. I didn't find a minute order available in the RCWs. Now, who's the betrayer today? Did you realize that when you decided to make up a crime, yes, in Sequim, Washington, on December 31st of 2015, to cover up your crime of refusing to remove the protection order in 2012, yes, to cover up the crime of removing the dissolution of marriage that you issued in 2013, yes, there's an there's a possibility of some additional lawsuits for lying to me when I was on Guam. Yes, that when my record was expunged on July 12th of 2012, yes, and I was found not guilty on July approximately 24th of 2012, yes, that the use of a minute order means that the betrayer right now, it's going to get expensive today. See, the messenger is important, right? Even though it was a movie, we wouldn't want to include the Gospel of Judas in the New Testament of the Bible. Now, as much as you might have liked him, okay, he did betray Jesus. Oh, there might be two different types of stigmata. Yes, there might be a kind that Pius had. Yes, then there could be the kind that if you actually did read the written words of Jesus that were written by the betrayer, you could have some significant spiritual problems. Now, just reading this RI.PDF, yes. Do you see where the petitioner didn't sign it? Yes. Where there's the fraud of saying I received actual notice and an opportunity to be heard. Now, it was not sufficient to protect my due process rights. Yes. When I agreed to actually do the restraint provisions of the protection order, Guam might not have noticed, and I mentioned a little $2 billion lawsuit for Guam for the 80% of the Catholics on Guam that thought, no, it was just a show. Is that right? You know, I'm kind of thinking, yes, that you're getting sued, as is the Catholic Church on Guam. Now, when you look at some of the pictures I put on there, yes, the promulgation of ecclesiastical laws means that you don't have the availability of enforcing your right to absolve persons of their sins, yes, while having knowledge of a crime. And when you kidnap my sons, yes, I'm going to want to know why it is that this state in the United States doesn't enforce their laws. Yes. Now, get me all of the actual charities in the official Catholic directory of 2018. Yes, 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 yes. I'm going to want to know all of them and their individual tax ID numbers. I never realized it. Yes. But you have one overarching exemption to the availability of issuing tax deductible receipts. Yes, but each subordinate organization is covered in a group exemption, and each subordinate organization must have its own EIN. Ouch. Now, for each of the subordinate organizations of the Catholic denomination that was issued their original exemption in 1946, yes, I will sue each of them as well as their employees. Now, you're not going to be able to do any confessing? Yes. Well, you could, yes. But if the priest actually said, well, I have no knowledge, I mean, ask your priest after you say this, yes, amen, say this, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been a couple weeks, maybe 2, 3 weeks. Do you have like a little diary where you write down each of these individual experiences? Because if somebody said to me, well, when's the last time you were at confession? I'm like, I've never been to confession. I'm not Catholic, but I will sue the confession. Oops, I'm so sorry. But I'm suing you. And if there's a priest anywhere that hears the confessions right now, just ask your priest, do you know about the kidnapping of my sons?